What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded. It is December 9th, 2025. And for real, today this video is going to be short. Why? Because, well, this video is going to be about how to identify days that are not worth trading. All right, but before we get into that, I'm going to ask you to consider buying my book. I'm going to ask you to consider joining my Discord community. First week's completely free. And I'm going to thank those of you who joined for our free charting session today in the community. But without further ado, let's go ahead and launch the charts, take a look at the one trade we did find, and why many of us decided not to trade. A lot of us who did decide to trade had a red day today. Wasn't a good day in the markets. It's choppy. There's FOMC day tomorrow. That could have something to do with it. But lo and behold, we had a call line at 623.37. We were hoping that that was going to move up to 623.80. So about a 40-cent move to the upside. Our put line was below 622.29, hoping to get down to at least the orange dotted line, maybe even the pink line. Both of those happened either way. Now, the problem was right out of the gate, we got the divergence. We had Qs aggressively going down, and you had ADD aggressively going up. Now, truthfully, I wasn't ready for calls this morning for a couple of reasons. Number one, we were putting lower highs into the open. Number two, I lost all track of time because, well, we kind of did something we don't normally do in the community, which was a live charting session. And that went a little bit longer. My time frame was all messed up. I was typing in general chat this morning at the time of open. So I do want to clarify, though. Normally, this would have been a trade I would have taken. ADD was printing green. Qs started to move up. It did breach the call line. I would have taken this trade if I was there and ready, and I would have lost. So I do want to point out that not every time does it work. This is one of the instances that if you played the call scenario, it wasn't working. Okay, even though everything looked good to the upside. Some people did play it and did scalp it because SPY moved up enough money to make something out of it. But under normal circumstances, we would have been targeting the orange line above. It did not happen. The put line did happen, though. You just would have had to ignore ADD, which I chose not to do as well. So for me, while we were moving up here, I said, one of two things has got to happen, guys. Number one, if ADD keeps printing green, I have to wait for Qs to give me a justification or reason to take calls. However, if Qs keeps moving down, I have to wait for ADD to get weak and start to show me that it's wanting to come down. Until one of those two things happens, I'm not going to do anything. Okay, so fortunately, I personally was being patient. And after we started to move up here, I said to everybody, and this was at 9:35, I said, guys, I'm interested in calls. I'd love to see a higher low before we get to the call line on the Qs, because then I'd feel a lot more comfortable about calls. Well, lo and behold, 2 minutes later, we got a higher low. ADD was still printing green, and I told everybody, I'm going to take calls, and I'm going to move or hold this trade until we get to 623.80. Had the alert set there and everything, got in on this candle at 9:38, got out when I heard the beep. Thankfully, it's only a 9.89% win or something like that, which is not a huge number, but it did achieve my daily goal, my personal daily goal. I have a $500 daily goal, and it's not because I want it to be $500. It's because that's how much it costs for me to live in South Florida with 4 kids. Minimum, and even that's not becoming enough. Either way, shortly thereafter, we got this massive, almost $3 candle spike to the downside. At that moment, had I not taken a trade yet, I would have blue booked it for today. Then we got into some very, very choppy charts. Guys, this is the point of this video. You're not going to find any other arrows on this chart today because there wasn't anything I felt comfortable trading. What you have to do to justify whether you should keep trading or not is determine or keep an eye out. Say, okay, higher lows. This is a setup I would normally look for calls. ADD's printing green. That's fine if you take the calls when you see those things. But if it fails, mark it up to The chart just, this time it didn't work. If you go to take another trade setup, all right, we're coming off of lower highs, we're breaking support, ADD's red. If that fails and you took it, it's another small loss. If you go to take another one, or you're watching the chart and you're starting to see a pattern of the setups that normally work suddenly not working, what conclusion do you think you should come to? This is something I came to right after this candle printed. Okay, doesn't mean the day can't get better as it goes on, but today was not that day. These moves were very, very choppy, very, very slow. So between theta creeping up and uncertainty and a lack of confidence in the chart, there has to be a time where you say, I'm not going to put any of my money at risk. Whether you made money today or lost money today, after one of those two conclusions and seeing enough of this shitty chart, you have to be able to say, put your degen gambling habits away and just saying, today's not a good day for trading. At least for our strategy. Might have been a scalper's dream. But even as a scalper, having been one once before in my life, I wouldn't have done anything here. Now, I will tell you this. Some people do get frustrated when I start to talk about how much I dislike the chart. That's simply because I don't want to be hypocritical. Here, this tastes like shit. You try it. That's the same thing. Sounds ridiculous, right? I wouldn't touch this chart with a 10-foot pole. How do you feel about me telling you to do it? Guys, think about it. This is what's preventing you from progressing as a trader. Part of the process is finding and understanding when to trade and when not to trade. Today was a good example of when not to trade. All right? And that's pretty much it. We're going to wrap it up. I kept it just under 10 minutes today. Actually, quite a bit under 10 minutes. Hope you guys got some valuable information in this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. It's like join the Discord community. Well, I'd love to have you. The links are down below. And if you'd like to buy my book, it's right here. It's a good one where you can go watch charting session videos that I created just for the people who bought the book. But for that, we're going to wrap it up. Hope you all had a fantastic day, if not in the markets, in your day-to-day life. Until tomorrow, I love you guys. See you.